Down goes Drapion, enter the arena, Corsola. Yes, this might be less than 1400 CP, but let me tell you, this knockdown was in big trouble. Power Gem lands for big damage. The opponent is going to fire a charge move. Ty can safely shield this up, over farm, and guess what? Power Gem number 2 is already locked and loaded. It's going to be high knockdown by knockdown. So, welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Yes, the intro does feature a non-Shadow Pokemon, but you know we make exceptions for them little spicy mon, and this really is a little spicy mon. It's a little coral named Corsola. It's ranked like 400th on pvpoke, and that's when it's maxed out. Ty's isn't maxed out. It's sitting at 1387 CP, but my god, does it still absolutely piss on all these flyers that are everywhere. So without any further ado, let's get into their battles. And in game 1, we lead Drapion into Drifblim. Pretty good matchup. The opponent is staying in. Ty fires off the crunch, is going to do huge damage. We look to snipe with Corsola, and we are met with a Quillfish. The opponent is probably somewhat puzzled to what the moveset is, but we are running Bubble, Bubble Beam, and the Hail Mary of Power Gem. If you've been a member of the channel, you already know we love Power Gem because we are huge Shadow Save Life fans. It also has access to Rock Blast, but Rock Blast isn't the best move. Power Gem, also not the best move, but at least it does some respectable damage. The opponent is spamming at Aqua Tails. They do hit for neutral due to Rock taking super effective and water resisting. The poison stings are resisted. Ty has debuffed them with a Bubble Beam. He now goes straight for the Hail Mary. The opponent shows no respect and Ty snipes with a Powder Snow. What does the opponent have lurking in the back? It's everyone's favourite pancake, Unova Stunfisk. The opponent attempted to catch a move on the low HP Drifblim. Ty, far too clever. The opponent can throw whatever they like. Abomasnow resists absolutely everything. And in return, they hit the pancake for super effective with both Powder Snow, Energy Ball, and Weather Ball. So this opponent is absolutely toast. Ty is going for the BM No Bubble Energy Ball. The opponent has 2 shields, but there's absolutely no hope in them winning, and they concede the match. Moving on to the next one. We see the Penguin Empoleon in the lead. Drapion pretty neutral in this matchup. Ty goes straight for the Crunch. Empoleon not the bulkiest in the Great League. Crunch lands for big damage. Ty attempts to catch a move on his Abomasnow, and he is unsuccessful. Ty is now going to shield up the super effective Drill Peck. You will notice this team is an ABB team, so we're double weak to counter in the back. So more often than not, we are going to be switching to Abomasnow or Corsola to try and draw out the counter user, and that's exactly how the trap has worked. Obstagoon didn't shield up the Weather Ball. Ty doesn't shield up the Night Slash. We make one more Weather Ball. Hopefully the opponent doesn't shield because they have no idea just how weak we are to counter. Weather Ball does land, and Abomasnow has managed to flip switch advantage. However, we are in danger of getting Waterfall farmed down. Back out comes the Penguin. One Waterfall takes us out. Ty now comes in to Corsola. We are taking neutral from the Waterfalls, and we are going for the Bubble Beam. The opponent probably has no idea on the moveset. The opponent does shield it up. Ty, with only 1 shield remaining, choosing to shield up the Hydro Cannon. Can we bubble? Farm him down. The opponent gets farmed all the way down and in the back. The opponent has Haunter. Ty is going to spam out one more Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam draws a shield from the opponent. They are going to have to throw. Ty looks to catch the charge move on Drapion. He is unsuccessful. They are going to need to Sludge Bomb to take us out. They go for a Shadow Punch, and Drapion absolutely laughs. The opponent fires one more Shadow Punch. Is this enough to knock out? No, it's not. Drapion does survive, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. You can already see from the early battles why Spice sometimes performs a lot better than you would expect, because opponents have zero idea on the charge moves. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Empoleon in the lead. This time Ty doesn't throw the Crunch, instead he looks to catch the resisted Hydro Cannon on Abomasnow. The opponent stays in and then switch out into a fellow Ice type. This is the battle of the 2 Ice types that both take neutral from Ice due to Ground taking super effective and Grass taking super effective. Ty has drawn a shield from the Piloswine. He is now going to allow himself to go down, and here comes Corsola. Corsola is hitting for super effective Avalanche. Would not do any damage because we would resist. The opponent is going to have to go for the new high horsepower Bulldoze or Stone Edge, whatever the fuck they're running as a second move. Ty got baited. He is now feeling pretty peed off, so he returns fire with a Bubble Beam. Let's see if the opponent does throw the high horsepower this time. It's just another Avalanche, and Ty shrugs it off. We now come in. Resisted Poison Sting down. Drapion is absolutely loaded. Back out comes the Penguin, we throw one Poison Sting, and the Crunch lands for huge damage, one more Poison Sting, and the Crunch ties, fast move timing, immaculate. Crunch draws a shield from the opponent is going to have to throw tie on minimal HP, quickly clicks the no shield, we're putting it all on Corsola. We come in, we look to bubble down, and the opponent's final Pokemon is knocked out and high knocked out. If you didn't know about Corsola, you're about to find out. Tai fires the Power Gem, it lands for big damage. This is just a Sky attack, but Tai can safely shield it up. Over farm significantly, we can fire off one more Power Gem to take care of the knockdown. It's going to be high knockdown by knockdown. When the Penguin does return, they're going to get Bubble Beam to death, and that is going to be all she wrote. Bubble Beam is resisted, but the Penguin has all of 10 HP, and it's still going to be more than enough to take this game. Moving on to the next battle. We see Greedent in the lead. If they're on Bullet Seed, this is a pretty good matchup, and the opponent is on Bullet Seed. Drapion, due to its poison typing, does resist the little bullet seeds that this Greedent is throwing at it. The opponent fires off the Body Slam. Tai is over farming like crazy, and he is going to return fire with a Crunch. Crunch is going to do significant damage. Greedent, pretty bulky, but Drapion hits like an absolute truck. Tai already at Crunch. Number 2, putting massive shield pressure on the opponent. The opponent does shield, and we say switch into Corsola, and we do sneak a bubble. Body Slam is resisted, a great catch. As always, stay in school, kids. Learn your counts. Tai's counting is always on point. The opponent is now going to fire for Crunch, and Corsola does show respectable bulk for something that is sitting at sub 1400 CP. We fire off a Bubble Beam. It doesn't knock out. Can we bubble down before the next charge move? We cannot, so Tai is going to commit a shield on the Body Slam. Body Slam is resisted, but Tai does want to maintain some sort of alignment. The opponent now comes in to an Obstagoon, and Obstagoon is going to get debuffed before we get counter farmed down. As we have another thing weak to counter, in the back, Tai is going to come back in to his Drapion. The opponent fires off the resisted Night Slash, as if Night Slash was already a pretty dreadful move to throw at a Dark type. They are debuffed from the Bubble Beam. Tai goes straight for the Sludge Bomb, and the opponent shows no respect. You could see that Tai was looking to switch into a Abomasnow, but this is the dream scenario. The opponent fires off a Night Slash. They are now energy dry. Tai can come in, Powder Snow, farm them all the way down, and once again we see another flyer. Everyone's favourite hot air balloon, Drifblim. Drifblim might have a shield. They shield up the first Weather Ball, but Tai is already at Weather Ball. Number 2, Drifblim, you sir are absolutely fucked. Weather Ball one-shots the balloon, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, we see Mew in the lead. I have no idea on the moveset, because a lot are now running something a bit spicy, like Rock Slide, due to the meta being full of flyers. The opponent switches out into Guzzlord, and here comes Abomasnow. Tai did switch out super late, giving the opponent a really big energy lead. He did shield up the Crunch, and he is going to start returning fire with the Weather Balls. Does the opponent want to fight for switch? Yes, they do, but Abomasnow far too spammy. We throw one more Powder Snow and the second Weather Ball. The opponent choosing to double shield, and they are going to Dragon Tail farm us all the way down, but we have the Sludge Bomb locked and loaded, and this is going to be Night Night Sleep Type Guzzlord. We've still got one shield and a full health Corsola. What does the opponent want to do? They come in to Pidgeot. Drapion is absolutely loaded. We're going to spam out the first Crunch. Crunch does big damage to Pidgeot. We get the defense fall. We look to catch a charge move on Corsola due to our rock type, and we do resist absolutely everything. The opponent goes for a Feather Dance, and that absolutely was not the play. Out comes Mew, and Tai is going to be super annoying, spamming out Bubble Beam after Bubble Beam. Let's see if the opponent does have Wild Charge. The opponent fires off a Wild Charge. Corsola hangs on 1 HP and a Dream. The opponent should have went for the farm down. They did not, and I think that is going to seal their fate. They fire off Wild Charge. Number 2, Tai can now come in, shield once, whatever the Mew throws, farm up to back-to-back charge moves. It's going to be 1 Crunch for the Mew. Hi Mew, bye Mew. When Pidgeot does return, as it dumped its energy, it's going to be a nice big fat Sludge Bomb to the face, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We see Guzzlord this time in the lead. Drapion does have to go all the way up to a Sludge Bomb to do any meaningful damage, as Crunch would be resisted. Even if he was on Aqua Tail, that would also be resisted. Tai shields up the Dragon Claw and aggressively switches in his hard counter of Abomasnow, and here comes the Toilet Seat Pelipper. A pretty neutral matchup, as we hit them for neutral the whole time. Wing attacks hit us for super effective, but if the opponent throws a Weather Ball, this can only be a Weather Ball. You will see It is resisted, and Abomasnow is now going to force switch or shield advantage to Abomasnow, putting in work on the safe switch. The opponent probably should have just shielded once and farmed all the way down, but who am I to judge? We've got the crunch locked and loaded. This is going to take care of the toilet seat. When Guzzlord does return, we are going to have to reach the sludge bomb. Guzzlord has the Dragon Claw locked and loaded. Dragon Claw will not KO. Ty throws one more poison sting and the sludge bomb. Hopefully the opponent doesn't shield, as Corsola is not going to appreciate this Guzzlord. They don't shield. Ty comes in, snipes with 2 bubbles. The opponent's final Pokemon is Steelix. This is a pretty good matchup. Well, at least I think it is. We are hitting for super effective, but Bubble Beam does at pretty much nothing. This is going to be the battle of the debuffers. Steelix is going to be debuffing our defense, and we are going to be debuffing their attack. Ty spams out Bubble Beam. Number 2, you can see we are running out of HP, but if you look in the right hand corner, Ty still has a Drapion alive on 1 HP and a Dream. He shields up the Psychic Fangs. He spams out one more Bubble Beam. We need our switch timer to pop up to win this game. The switch timer does pop up. Can Ty make the catch? And as always, stay in school, kids. Learn to count. That sack swap is going to seal the deal. Psychic Fang takes us out. Corsola comes back in. We throw 2 more bubbles and the Bubble Beam, and that's going to be high Steelix, bye Steelix. GG's, and thanks for playing. If you've watched Ty battle on the channel before, you'll always know if the win con is to make a catch, he never disappoints. Moving on to the next one, we see that angry cow Milktank in the lead. Pretty neutral matchup. For Drapion, we go for the crunch, and crunch does big damage. Milktank is now below 50% HP. The opponent is going to start unloading body slam spams. I imagine Ty is going to look to catch a resisted body slam on his Corsolas. We fire one more crunch, drawing a shield from the opponent. We come in to Corsola. It's not the cleanest catch, but this can only be a body slam, so the opponent was mashing the move. You love to see it. And holy smokes, the opponent comes in to a Drifblim. They actually go straight for an Icy Wind. That, my friend, is resisted. And if that isn't bad enough, do they know about the Power Gem? Ty not baiting, going straight for the Power Gem. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Drifblim now deep in the red. Ty can go for a Bubble Beam, but it's a CMP Ty. The opponent is going straight for another Icy Wind. Icy Wind doesn't knock out, and Ty is now going to fire off the Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is 2-stage debuffed. Drifblim doesn't get knocked out, but Ty does manage to bubble down, and in the back, the opponent has a Galarian Wheezing. Corsola still not done, fires off one more Bubble Beam before we get Fairy Wind down. Ty actually aggressively switches out into Abomasnow, not wanting to get farmed down. The opponent's easily got enough for a overheat. The opponent doesn't throw the overheat. They actually go for a brutal swing, and they now look to combo play back in to their Milktank. The opponent fires off the body slam. Body slam doesn't knock out Abomasnow. Abomasnow returns fire with the Weather Ball. The opponent chose to shield it up, but Abomasnow far too spammy. We've already got Weather Ball. Number 2 locked and loaded. Down goes Milktank. The opponent comes back out into their Galarian Wheezing. Galarian Wheezing fires off one more brutal swing. Brutal swing takes care of the Abomasnow, but we've got Drapion with a shield. Ty, for no reason whatsoever, flexing his authority, catching the brutal swing on Corsola. We've got the sludge bomb locked and loaded. Ty massively over farming, drawing the inevitable out. We are going to shield up the brutal swing. We're at almost 100 energy, and he is going for the disrespectful crunch. Crunch not going to knock out. He hits no bubbles, and now he is going to fire off the sludge bomb. Pretty brutal, but you love to see it. GG's, and thanks for playing. Ty just playing with his food there. A bit rude, but quite entertaining. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Empoleon in the lead. He again attempts to catch a Hydro Cannon on his Abomasnow. He's unsuccessful, so he is forced to shield up the Drill Peck. The opponent is staying in. I imagine they're going to attempt to catch an Energy Ball. The opponent doesn't catch, and we actually get hit with another Drill Peck. Ty now sitting in a pretty grim spot. We are down 2 shields, and he is now baiting with a Weather Ball. Weather Ball does draw a shield from the opponent. He is now going to throw the Energy Ball. Energy Ball is either going to get the final shield or knockout. What does the opponent want to do? They've chose to double shield as well. We are not going to reach the Energy Ball, so Ty choosing to go for some chip damage with a Weather Ball. Weather Ball does hardly anything. Ty now wham bam combo plays into his Drapion with the crunch locked and loaded. We've managed to combo play this Empoleon out of the game, and now the opponent brings in Mandibuzz. It's actually a snarl Mandibuzz, so Drapion pretty comfortable. In this matchup, we fire off the first Sludge Bomb on a CMP tie. The opponent is going to return fire with an Aerial Ass, but you can see why I call it Aerial Ass, because it did not do enough damage. Tie makes Sludge Bomb. Number 2, a much better move. You can see the super bulky Mandibuzz now deep in the red. The opponent now brings in Pelipper, a great snipe on their part, or at least they would think so, but Ty has the dream response for this toilet seat in Corsola Weather Ball. Only hits for neutral. It doesn't do a whole great deal of damage, and we can hit him for big super effective with the Power Gem. The opponent fires off one more Weather Ball. We've got the Power Gem locked and loaded. Is Power Gem enough to vanquish the toilet seat? No, it's not, but we look to snipe with Abomasnow. Down goes the toilet seat. Back out comes Mandibuzz, and they're going to get hit with a Weather Ball, and Ty is going to win a very nice battle despite being down 2 shields in the early game. Moving on to the next one. We see Jumpluff in the lead. The opponent doesn't fancy Drapion's poison typing, so they switch out into Mantine. Mantine shields the first crunch, and Ty, like the hero that he is, catches the Bubble Beam on his Corsola. Corsola pretty alright in this matchup. Wing attacks are resisted. The Bubble Beam spam from Mantine is going to be annoying. However, we can hit them for super effective with the Power Gem. Mantine super bulky, but Power Gem still does big damage. The opponent throws one more Bubble Beam. Corsola shrugs it off. Mantine's like, fuck it, you want another one? Corsola says, bring it on. The next Bubble Beam finally gets us into the yellow. Ty makes the Power Gem. This is now at least 3 stages debuffed. Who knows? Mantine spammed out too many Bubble Beams, and I've lost count. Power Gem still knocks out despite all the debuffs, and Ty looking to aggressively switch out into his Drapion. Back out comes Jumpluff, and in the back they have an Excadrill. The little steel mole might have a steel typing, which would suggest it's hard to penetrate, but let me tell you, this mole is made of absolute paper. The first crunch gets them deep in the red. Drapion so far and energy fires off crunch. Number 2, Excadrill commits its final shield. This is the easiest no shield of Ty's GBL career. Down goes Drapion. We can come in to Corsola, look to bubble, farm them all the way down, and when Jumpluff does return, they are going to get hit for double super effective damage off the Abomasnow. Back out comes the Jumpluff. Jumpluff doesn't want to get hit with the Power Gem. They fire off an Energy Ball, and Ty chooses to shield it up. It looks like he banks the Power Gem for the road. We come in to Abomasnow. Holy smokes, if this isn't acrobatics, we are going to get one shot. It is the acrobatics. Down goes Abomasnow. It looks like Ty wants to feature the little coral. Power Gem lands. It doesn't knock out. Holy smokes. Can we bubble? Farm them down. No, we cannot. We reach the resisted Bubble Beam. Jumpluff, super bulky. But who was worried? It's still enough to take this game. As always, Ty, the absolute king of entertainment. Really fun team. You can see that he's got double anti-flyers in the back because this meta is full of flyers, and Ty is one of the best anti-meta players that I know. So huge thank you for the hype battle submission as always. So if you like your battles featured on the channel, link to my battle submission form is down below. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.